Alright, YouTube, it's been a few weeks since I've actually done an upload on a real video. So, guys, it's me, Jennifer Fortune. I don't like this lighting. The sun is everywhere, but that's okay. So, for y'all who don't know, my name is Jennifer Fortune, and I was in a narcissistic abusive relationship. And if you don't know what narcissism is, that's why I'm here, to teach you about it. Okay, so this is kind of a random topic I'm talking about because normally I write everything down and then I'll just think about it throughout the weeks, like what I'm going to say, and remember the details of everything that has happened to me. So today, I don't know what I'm going to title this, but I don't even know how to explain this. I've said this before, but it's God's honest truth. Narcissist, you're property to a narcissist, okay? So that means if they don't want you working nowhere, you're not going to work anywhere they don't want you to work, and they will make sure, especially if they have power. My last ex parents had power. They had extreme connections. Trust and believe that. They have connections in the courthouse. They can get away with whatever they want, and they have been for years. So I noticed when I was with them, you know, when you're in a toxic abusive relationship, you probably, because it's so normal to you, don't know the extent of how bad the abuse is. You don't know the extent while you're in it at the time. The extent of, I'm shaking right now, y'all, from what I'm about to tell y'all. You don't know the extent of the neglect that you're going through. I didn't know narcissists were like this until people I knew, and then my last ex and his parents, who are pastors, and I'm going to keep saying that because people think that just because somebody's a lawyer, that they're a good person or supposed to be trustworthy. That's not true. I'm not saying all of them are, but that's not true. Just because somebody is a pastor, for no reason, when they haven't pastored in like 20 years or married anybody in years or a decade, it's because they want that title for a reason. They want that control. They want everybody to just say, hey, I'm a judge, I'm a pastor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a this, I'm a that. Well, when I was in a relationship with my narcissist, and I moved into his parents' house, weird stuff kept happening, and I didn't understand what was going on. But once I broke up with him, I'm gonna say them because that's how it goes. I was just so confused. Like I didn't understand the extent of what happened to me. And I was like, okay, it was just like, I was literally driving myself crazy because I didn't deserve anything that happened to me. But they want to know everything about everything because they have to make the story sick. They're going to connect you to the situation and then you to that situation and put it, narcissists are, when I tell you evil people, they live for their satisfaction. Nothing else. Not their kids, not their job, nothing. They're the most selfish people, and they don't give a damn who they hurt because they think they're so entitled. They think that they deserve the best of everything. Everybody deserves the best of everything, but they don't for real put the work in. They do it in illegal ways, if that makes sense. But when I was in their house, weird stuff kept happening. Like every time I would go to the doctors, every time I would go to the pharmacy, every time, I remember one time they wanted everything of mine. They wanted me to make a new email and a password, and they wanted it, and I had to give it to them. And I did not know this at the time. I think they were looking out for me. They told me they was helping me. They told me they was going to help me get a job. But you got to remember, narcissists don't want you having nothing good because they use any and everybody, especially if they think you're a weak person like me. They thought I was weak because they thought I was gullible. And to an extent I was. And I was mad at myself because I was like, how how stupid was I to believe, not knowing I was being used by these people? Like, how do you not know? Because you don't know. They put a show on to you, for you. It was weird. They always talked about me behind my back, bashed me down like I was a nothing, like I was a nobody. So they had to know everything. Whatever OBGYN I went to, they had to know. I'm not kidding. They had to know. Wherever I worked, they had to know exactly. Like one time, I was back on my feet and I was living at my mom's house. I had my car and everything. And I worked in the south side, which is 45 minutes away from where I live. So they didn't need to know where I worked. They didn't need to know all the details, but they needed to know. And I, at the time, would just tell, yeah, I work here, I do this, I do that, I go to this doctor for this and that. Yeah, I go to this gym. Whatever I did, I told them everything about everything. If for some reason they wanted to know, and it never crossed my mind, why do they need all this information about my whole entire life history? I swear to God, when I say details, if you went to the bathroom, and y'all think I'm exaggerating, it was like, well, this might be an exaggeration, but this is what I'm getting at. Like, if you use toilet paper, it was like they counted the sheets. Say it was a 2,000 sheet roll. They were like, oh, you used 20 of the sheets. You owe me, let's say 10 cents per sheet. So 20 roll, that's $2. And I swear to God, and then I would always give it to them, any and everything. And they told everybody that I would always borrow money from them when I didn't. If anything, they was always taken and taken and taken and taken. And now I know where their son got his thieving ways from. I didn't see it at the time until I broke up, and then it all made sense as to why they was always bashing not only my name, but my ex's name. But I wasn't scared of them. He was terrified, and he would tell everybody all the time, if I fear any and everything in this world, it's my parents, because you don't know what they can do. And I thought maybe he was just like, I don't know, exaggerating, like scared of your own parents. You're not supposed to fear nothing or nobody but the Lord, because the Lord determines your fate and your karma. But he would always say he would fear his parents. First of all, they're your parents, right? They act like they're so loving and caring. And I bought it for the longest time until they kept meddling in our business. And when I say meddling, they would say they were helping, but then they would not help. Like, I told you about the time when I got pregnant with our last child, my daughter, and he disappeared, and I was already living in my mom's house because I could not live in that house no more. Months on end, they would not let me leave the house because I didn't have a license, but my ex didn't have a license either. But I wanted to drive their car to go to work. They didn't want me doing nothing to further my future. They already put a narrative in the whole entire world's head for me. And I remember I would cry to them all the time, like, look, I need a job. I can't stay in this house. Like, I'm going crazy. They didn't care. They would tell me I was selfish. Selfish for wanting to get a job, to get back on my feet, right? But then they would let my ex, they own a landscaping company, so they would let my ex use their vehicle whenever they wanted to not only go to work, but go downtown and meet his dealer. And they knew that. They knew that. That's what I'm saying. They would say they were helping you, but they won't. Like, they knew he was sabotaging himself, so they let him sabotage himself. But I wanted better for myself, and they would not allow me to have better. So I had to leave. So that's why I left them. I left them. I was so tired of the drama. I was so tired of the toxicity. I was so tired of them snooping through my stuff. I was so tired of them going everywhere I would go. But weird stuff kept happening all the time, and I kept saying, okay, that's weird, and then I would shrug it off, and then something else would happen. I'd be like, okay, that's weird, and shrug it off. So I went to my pharmacy today, and this is one of the many things that have happened to not only all my doctor's offices, my works, everything. And it was weird because I go to CVS Pharmacy, and I updated my account there 3 times to my new phone number that I have right now. And I never put my address at their house, ever at the pharmacy, ever. Because you don't need an address at the pharmacy. I mean, they put it on file, but I've been going to this pharmacy before I even met these people. And I never put my address in their name. So I changed it to my dad's address where I live now, at my dad's house. And then a couple months ago, I was like, okay, I used to get text messages on my own phone. It was a different number. It was a different area code, but if this is anybody's number, I'm not saying area code. It was 608-1048. Right there. Right there. On the bottom. Right there. And I changed it 3 times, and every time I would go there, it kept going back to that number. But when I did have this number, the pharmacy would keep texting me when I had this number that, you know, your prescription's ready. So now I changed it so, because, you know, every time you go to the pharmacy, you think your prescription's ready, and every time they go 20 minutes. So I kept updating it, and I was like, why does it not save it? And then it said that my address was at the pastor's house, which I never put it in in the address at their house ever. And I changed it to my dad's house, and it didn't change, and it's still there. And all it says is Gray Bark, right under my name, Jennifer Fortune, and then Gray Bark. And I'm thinking, like, I never put it in there. And then that made me think about, and this was months ago, I was thinking, and I was like, when I moved into my mom's house after I had my daughter, I went to this pediatrician for my daughter, and I put my address, my name, and everything as where I live now. That I lived I moved in about 5-6 years ago to my parents' house, and I'm still there. And I put it in my parents' address. But then again, I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. They would never let me go anywhere, a job, any doctor, anywhere. I'm telling you, unless they knew somebody there, so they couldn't have my name ruined. They didn't want me going anywhere. And there was somebody at this pediatrician's office, and I went up there, and it changed to this address. My daughter, when I lived at my dad's house, and I only was going there for a year around this time, and it kept going to Gray Bark. And I was thinking, I never put it. Who is changing? Like, who's keep changing my information? Who's keep changing my phone numbers on file? Who's keep putting everything in my? And again, I let it go. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, I know. And then, you know, I think I'm going crazy, and I'm just thinking, like, this was the whole time I was with them, because they would always gaslight me, and they would always go behind my back, calling my work, calling my friends, calling my family, calling them to the gym if I see them going to the gym, just to make sure they know I'm there, and then talk some more crap. I'm telling y'all, my life was a living hell with these people. And then I would go to the OBGYN, and then it kept, everywhere I would go, it was their address, and I kept changing it or trying to change it. And I'm thinking, I never put anything in their address, because I don't need it to be. I don't need it to be. Y'all, this is crazy. They put everything in their address. And then I told you about the email, and I was trying to look for a job, and I'm telling you, I was searching for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs. I just wanted to, I didn't care. I went on Mary Mays, because I'm an awesome cleaner. I'm an OCD cleaner, and my mom used to do it, and my mom taught me how to clean. So I wanted to do that, and they denied me. I went like any and everywhere. Name it, McDonald's, gas stations, Dollar Tree. I swear to God, anywhere, anything that popped up on there that was in a 10-mile radius, I applied for. Every single one of them not only denied me, every single one of them emailed me back saying I don't have enough experience for McDonald's. And I didn't think nothing at the time either. But now I'm thinking about it, because y'all don't understand. Narcissists enjoy seeing you suffer. They enjoy seeing you lack. They don't want you to have nothing. They're going to ruin your reputation. And then my ex was such a mommy and daddy's boy. We would go to his parents' house every day while we had our own place. And then his sister would come up to us and be like, y'all eat dinner here every night. And that's what they told them, because apparently we can't afford it, and we can't do nothing on our own, and we're so codependent. And I said, that's not true. And then every time they would lie, they would look at each other like, oh God, they're going to find out. And I didn't know that these little things all added up. Like, you can do the smallest things, the biggest things. It's really weird to describe, but if you have been through anything, it's narcissistic abuse. And I didn't know how bad it was until I left. How bad it was until I left. It's crazy. Any and everything I would do. When I would go to Ashley's Furniture, or I had car insurance put into my name from out of their name. Oh my God, they would call up there and ask. And then I found out, and I got so mad at my insurance company. I said, why are you telling my ex's parents my information? And this is before I got this car. And they said, well, that car was in his name, and it was insurance. And I said, yeah, and it switched over to my name, and the car was in my name. Even though I bought that car, but I put it in his name because I didn't have a license. I said, it's nobody's business. I said, if my name ain't, if their name ain't on there, and I told everybody everywhere I go, if it ain't me and I don't have a password, you don't have a password, no information goes out. I was so mad. They wanted to know if I was paying my bills. I was mad. And then the insurance company came up with an excuse. Oh, well, I used to be under his name. I don't care. That's like saying I sell my car to you and then I find out your insurance company and I'm like, oh, I just missed the car. I just want to make sure that they're taking care of it. No, you don't do that. And then he would call, the pastor would call up to my OBGYN's office asking, was I pregnant? I swear to God, y'all, swear to God. And then 2 times when I was pregnant with my daughter, I would go to the OBGYN's office and it was like I never existed. But this OBGYN's office, the same doctor has not only seen me but 5 of my other siblings, and we've all been going there for at least over a decade. I know I have, and before, because my sister, who's older than me, told me about this place. So and it happened twice. They was like, and then they threatened to call CPS on me because I didn't go to the doctor when I was pregnant. Right? When I was pregnant. And I said, yes, I did. I said, this doctor gave birth to 3 of my children. And this is when right before I had a miscarriage with my twins. I had a miscarriage with twins in December 2020, January, just New Year's 2021. And all my records was erased from every doctor's office I went to. And I was like, okay, this is weird. This is getting really weird, y'all. Really, really weird. And I knew one of my exes did it, or one of my exes had a part to do with it, or ex was somebody like this pastor parents. And I know people aren't going to believe this, and that is perfectly fine with me. I'm still going to keep talking. And I told y'all, it's going to get deep, and it was like, I don't know how my records got deleted, but I even said, yeah, I go to this doctor. I had 1 son, another son, and then my daughter, and then I came here, and it was just one thing weird after another, after another, after another, and I didn't think about it at the time, so I shrugged that off too, and I was just like, I just don't understand. There's always something. And then they threatened, when I was pregnant with my daughter, they would call CPS on me because I didn't go to the doctor. And I said, yes, I did go to the doctor. I said I have ultrasounds, and I knew the sex, and I knew the due date. And I was like, this is weird. And the lady was like, I've never seen nothing like this in my life. I don't know how your records got deleted like that. And I said, well, this ain't the first time it happened here. It was the second time. And so I was like, something's weird, something's going on. I told them, I was like, it just don't make sense. How do my records either get hacked? But even if they did get hacked, like everything lining up, I was just like, a lot of people got a lot of answers is all I know. You know, I'm so serious. It's really weird. Like, I'm scared to even go to the doctors because your records cannot get erased unless you, like I said, you're not allowed to go nowhere unless you knew somebody. Like I said, when I took my daughter to the pediatrician, I promised on everything. I put it in my address where I live now. She never lived over there, and I was so irritated with them at the time, and I said, they ain't gonna have control over me or my daughter. I said, I'm gonna do everything for my daughter. Everything's going in my name. Everything's going in my address. I said, I don't want them to know nothing about nothing. And everything kept changing. It was like, they didn't want me to be a mother. They didn't want me to have a job. They didn't want me to have a happy home. I swear to God, nothing. And I wouldn't be surprised that insurance company, my insurance got cut off one time, and it was cut off for a month, and then I lost my license for that, and that was the last time I lost my license. And I was like, oh my God, this is for real stressful, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I've been dealing with this for years, and I'm not going to stop until these people actually get what they deserve. And I'm not saying that you know what I'm saying, it's not okay. And then, like, going to court, I swear to God, I have so much proof, and I'm going to keep talking and talking and talking, because what was done to me was inhumane. What was done to me Everybody should have known better as their position, as doctors, as lawyers, as judges, as insurance agents, companies. You take an oath when you go there that you do not tell nobody's business, and that is how manipulative these people are. That is why I got away from these people. That is why I got away from these people, because I wasn't allowed to have no life. If I was not depressed and miserable with nothing, they were happy. They did not want to see me succeed at all. And I swear to God, if I did not leave, I would not be on this earth right now, because that's how bad it was. They will control your every aspect of life. So I'm paranoid about telling people my business now, because you don't know what you're saying to somebody who can go back to somebody else.